Hello and welcome to our millions of viewers here in Nigeria, the continent, and all around the world. This is Newsroom series where we bring you stories from across Nigeria. Our focus today is on the southeast region. But first, let's bring you our top story this hour and news and stories on our radar. We begin in Benue State, where a brewing crisis that has escalated rather quickly in the State House of Assembly following today's suspension of 4 lawmakers following attempts to impeach the Speaker, Mr. Dajo. The lawmakers will understand are Alfred Berger, representing Makurdi North, Turner Shimawa from Kian State Constituency, Cyril Ekong of Oju 2 State Constituency, and James Abu Umoru, representing Apa State Constituency, were suspended for 6 months. The majority leader of the House, in a motion of urgent importance, moved for the suspension of the 4 lawmakers for attempting to unsettle the State House of Assembly with needle crisis. In his ruling, the Speaker, Mr. Dajo, is asking the Sergeant at Arms to escort the suspended lawmakers out of the chambers. Away from Benue State, the president of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, Festus Osifo, has reiterated the call for the Nigeria Liquefied Natural Gas Limited model to be used in revamping the nation's refineries. Mr. Osifo will set the tone for the second day of the Pengasin Energy and Labour Summit, says Nigeria has competent manpower to manage the refineries if the leaders have the political will to ensure efficiency.
In some of the branches in Pengasan, some of these managements are taking issues of training very, very seriously. That they are training our members and repositioning them for the task ahead. But we have some other companies as well that are not doing the same. So we are calling on those managements that are here today, from the IOCs to the indigenous producers, to the international service company, to the local service companies, to the government agencies, to NNPC, to key into issues that are bordering on training. Because it is when we are trained that we will now be able to tune in to the requisite skills of today and prepare ourselves as well for what is going to come tomorrow. So I strongly believe that in Nigeria, we have the strong human capital that can drive this industry. Just as the presenter from Renaissance said yesterday, that during COVID, the expatriates, they all ran away. They all ran away because they felt that in Nigeria that we don't have the requisite skills to be able to manage the COVID-19 pandemic. When they ran away, the oil and gas industry was manned by Nigerians for almost a year plus without affecting our production. It shows clearly that we have the skills. This morning, a journalist asked me, in our refineries, why are they not working? Is it because we don't have the requisite manpower to ensure that the refinery works? I laughed. I said, no, that is not correct. That the technology you need to refine crude is much more lesser than the skills that you need to carry out drilling in deep offshore, than the skills that you need to man FPSO in Akpo, in Usan, in Ejina, in Era, in Bonga, in Agbami. But these facilities are manned literally almost 100% by Nigerians. These facilities are manned in such a way that we produce efficiently and effectively. The reason Nigerians are able to perform in that regard is actually because in those places we are given the tools to work. In Shell Bonga, there is no political interference. It is just about productivity and performance. There is no political interference.
Let's bring you stories now from the southeast region. We begin in Ebonyi State, where the police there has rescued 2 kidnapped students at Ikwa local government area of that state following an intelligence report which led to the operatives of Ikwa Police Division storming an uncompleted building where the students were being held. The students, we understand, were rescued unhurt as 3 suspects were arrested and are now in police custody as investigations are continuing. Commissioner of Police in that state, Antonia Utianya, disclosed this while briefing journalists on the achievements of the command between July and mid-August at the Ebonyi State Police Command headquarters in Abakaliki, the state capital.
On the 14th August 2025, that was achieved following intelligence reports where operative of the Pole Division stormed an uncompleted building where 2 kidnapped students were being held. The victims were rescued unhurt, while 3 suspects named James Mweke, Oliver Mwali, and Mwojiji Onyebuchi were arrested. The suspects are in custody and investigation is still ongoing. The command has deployed early warning mechanisms to promptly detect and contain brewing disputes. We have also adopted non-kinetic approach, engaging robustly with relevant stakeholders to ensure that differences are settled through civil dialogue rather than violence. The command continues to closely monitor flashpoints with land and boundary issues, and through this proactive strategy, we are recording encouraging results while remaining vigilant in ensuring the safety of our people.
The Ebonyi State Police Commissioner says a total of 131 suspects were arrested for various offenses between July and mid-August 2025, noting that 52 suspects have already been charged to court as investigations are ongoing for others and will soon be arraigned. She adds that the command has recovered 6 vehicles, 15 assorted firearms you see on your screen, and 50 rounds of ammunition of various calibers, while also dislodging several criminal hideouts across Ebonyi State.
Between July and mid-August 2025, the command recorded the following notable achievements. A total of 131 suspects, made up of 120 male and 11 females, were arrested for various offenses. 52 suspects have already been charged to court, while investigations are ongoing for the others, who will soon be arraigned. The command recovered 6 vehicles, 15 assorted firearms, and 50 rounds of ammunition of various calibers, while also dislodging several criminal hideouts across the states.
Let's cross over now to Imo State, where Governor Hope Uzodinma is assuring stakeholders in that state that the choice of a successor in 2028 will be guided strictly by democratic principles. The governor says his administration will respect due process and ensure fairness when the time comes for leadership transition. Governor Uzodinma made these statements during a meeting with leaders of the Imo State Senatorial District, also known as the Owerri Zone, at the Government House.
This is the second time in 5 months that Governor Hope Uzodinma meets with leaders and stakeholders from the Owerri Zone at this venue. The meeting focuses on ongoing conversations around political succession and the application of the Charter of Equity ahead of the 2027 elections. In his address, Governor Uzodinma emphasizes that the choice of a successor must follow democratic principles, promote unity, and reflect the fear of God.
I cannot come because there will be a contest and say, is this man who will be governor? That is not democracy. The reason is that we have seen that we follow democratic principles. But let us also try to consider those zones that have not been opportune to occupy this position. In this hall today, our zone is complete. But emphasis from experience is not to say we are united because you think it will be you. When it is not you, you will no longer be united.
Some stakeholders commend the government for its achievements in infrastructure and governance.
We are absolutely working very hard, Your Excellency, to advance your image. I have a copy of a communique that's issued by you as a segment of that association. I will pass it on to you to see what we are doing. We are mobilizing support for you. For all the things that you are doing, we are absolutely supporting you. Like Professor Classic said, we are supporting you for when you eventually leave office, that you will come down here and we will put out a mass to say this is the people that the country will touch.
What we are doing is unity. It doesn't matter who you choose, whoever you choose will be our candidate. That's what we are saying. Your Excellency, in this hall, we do not have party, but we have come to pledge loyalty to you because you have done well. You have done well for our state. God will continue to bless you. Owerri zone, remain grateful to you. They are talking about flyover. Where is that flyover? Owerri zone. We are talking about Olu Road. Where did that road start? It's Owerri zone. We are talking about Omaya. In fact, I left Olago to Omaya, and I made under 30 minutes. I was at Omaya. Promise.
As discussions about the 2027 governorship election gather momentum in Imo State, the governor's message reflects his commitment to democratic values over personal interests. Ejitope Kute, Channels Television News.
You're watching Newsroom series, and we're live from our global headquarters here in Lagos, Nigeria. We're due for a break, but when we come back, we'll take you to Anambra State, where the First Lady there has played host to the 3rd Anambra State Women's Health Summit. That's in a moment. Please stay with us. Welcome back. The First Lady of Anambra State, Mrs. Nonye Soludo, has played host to the 3rd Anambra State Women's Health Summit in Awka, the state capital. The event took place at the Anambra Lighthouse and brought together women to discuss key issues affecting family health and stability. Speaking at the summit, the governor's wife highlighted the importance of proper breastfeeding, routine immunization and vaccination, reminding mothers that vaccines are free, safe and effective, while also calling for collective action to address gender-based violence in families and communities.
It's the 3rd annual Anambra Women's Health Summit and the first time the wife of the state governor, Mrs. Nonye Soludo, is hosting it at the Anambra Lighthouse, the new government mini-city. Mrs. Soludo welcomes women leaders from communities, churches, political parties, markets and groups across the state. Governor Chukwuma Soludo also joins briefly to celebrate with the women.
57 structures within this country.
The summit, now a yearly tradition, focuses on exposing women to healthy lifestyles and positive habits. This year's session features health talks on immunization, nutrition, and women's sexual and reproductive rights, delivered by representatives of the World Health Organization. Other senior consultants also help in educating the participants.
The whole country will be implementing Mrs. Anambra campaign between October and March next year. In Anambra State, it will be in February 2026. So what this information is to go down to the community.
Your trust is paying you. If you look inside your mouth, you see a white patch. The neck is big, swollen. You report to the nearest health center. No child will die. We will give vaccination. We will give medication. We will investigate. We will take sample free of charge to the lab.
The first one is right to life. The second is right to liberty and security of persons. The third is right to equality and freedom from discrimination. Fourth is right to privacy. Fifth, right to information and education. Sixth, right to freedom of thought. Seventh, right to decide on whether or not to get married and found a family. Eighth, right to decide on whether and when to have children.
Mrs. Soludo emphasizes the importance of exclusive breastfeeding, describing it as the greatest gift mothers can give their babies.
After telling them, how can you leave breast milk? Very natural, very medicinal. God made this for the babies, and you will leave it and go for animal factory fixed tin food. So, the woman went home and called me and said, it was when I was talking that she was just thinking about it. So the impact is there, a whole lot of them. That one was the one that called me. But I know a lot of people felt the same way.
On gender-based violence, the governor's wife encourages women to honor and respect their husbands, assuring them that love and support will be reciprocated. As part of her empowerment drive, every woman at the summit receives free organic seedlings to help them start their own home gardens.
Let's take you to Enugu State, where Governor Peter Mba just a moment ago unveiled the reconstructed 100-room Hotel Presidential, a historic landmark originally built in 1963 by the late Premier of the Old Eastern Region, Dr. Michael Okpara. The hotel, which had been abandoned for 15 years, is now back to life. The governor says the revival of the facility reflects his campaign promises to recover moribund state assets and expand Enugu's economy.
This is Hotel Presidential. The iconic building was first constructed in 1963 by the Michael Okpara administration of the defunct Eastern region. For over 15 years, it has remained in ruins, only running skeletal activities before finally shutting its doors. Governor Peter Mba inherited the edifice with litigation hanging over it. After securing a Supreme Court judgment in favor of the state, his administration awarded the contract for reconstruction in April 2024.
The glory of God. Thank you.
The governor officially commissions the project, and in company of stakeholders, including former Aviation Minister Osita Chidoka, he inspects the newly refurbished rooms.
The doors are open, never to shut again. The spirit of Enugu is back, strong, brighter than ever.
We are wishing for a time, the nostalgia of bringing back Hotel Presidential to life.
Governor Peter Mba emphasizes his commitment to reviving moribund state assets as part of his economic growth agenda.
We made a deliberate decision to convert dormant assets into productive assets, turn liabilities into engines of growth. That is why this unveiling is more than opening the doors of a hotel. It is the reopening of Enugu's confidence. It is a tangible sign that when we say Enugu is open for business, we mean business.
He highlights the economic value of the hotel, which will provide hundreds of direct jobs in hospitality, events management, engineering, landscaping, and other sectors. He also urges the youth to pursue their business dreams with hard work and consistency.
My dear young people, the most valuable suite in this hotel is the opportunity it creates for you. Learn the craft, build the discipline, start the small businesses that supply the big businesses, and keep pushing your ideas.
The 100-room Hotel Presidential, now set to run at full capacity, is positioned by the governor as a strategic driver of his 6-year plan to exponentially grow Enugu's economy.
To other stories now, the Biotechnology Society of Nigeria is urging the federal and state governments to increase funding for research in tertiary institutions and research centers across the country. National President of the association, Sylvia Uzochukwu, made this call at the 37th Annual International Conference of the Society in Umudike, Abia State. She asked that Nigeria cannot achieve meaningful progress without strong investment in science and technology.
Members of the Biotechnology Society of Nigeria, BSN, led by National President Professor Sylvia Uzochukwu and the Executive Director of the National Root Crops Research Institute, NRCRI, Professor Chiedozie Egesi, is in Umudike, Ikwano local government area of Abia State for the 37th Annual International Conference. The conference brings together key stakeholders from the institute, scientists, academics, researchers, and students to discuss strategies for food security, health, and environmental sustainability. With the theme Innovative Biotechnology for National Growth, Pathways to Food Security, Health, and Environmental Sustainability, the conference highlights the role of biotechnology in transforming agriculture, healthcare, and the environment in Nigeria. Speaking during the forum, Executive Director of NRCRI, Professor Chiedozie Egesi, explains that the institute applies biotechnology to solve practical problems.
To a good extent, the government is trying, but we need what we call timely release of funds for research, and we need more ample provision of resources for research. That's where that's a take home for government. We need to have more resources. We need to have, for example, power supply. Is expensive now. We're in band A, so the limited resources are not able to push things the way we want to push.
Also, the coordinator of the biotechnology program at NRCRI, Dr. Uhoma Okwonu, and the national president of BSN, Professor Sylvia Uzochukwu, stressed that funding research is critical to unlocking Nigeria's vast resources.
We don't have facilities, and to be able to get reagents and consumables, it takes a long period of time for us to do this. So we need to have machinery put in place to enable scientists. Let me tell you, there's a lot of brain drain. People study biotechnology, and because they cannot effectively practice biotechnology in a nation. So you see them go to America, you see them go to the UK, you see them go to China, and then we don't have anybody that wants to stay back home.
The Biotechnology Society is appealing to government to begin to fund research in science and technology. When I say science and technology, it involves agriculture, health, environment, science and technology. Any country that does not massively fund science and technology can never make progress.
The two-day conference features presentations, awards to outstanding members, exhibitions, and expert discussions on innovations in biotechnology and how research outputs are applied to solve real challenges in Nigeria.
And finally on the program, the 2025 Leadership Symposium for Anambra Youth is focusing on how young people can build connections, embrace consistency, develop self-reliance, and unlock The Hidden Talents. The event, we understand, held in Awka to mark International Youth Day.
Youth representatives from the 21 local government areas of Anambra State, association leaders, youth groups and other key stakeholders converge on Awka, the state capital, to deliberate on issues affecting young people. The gathering is part of activities marking the 2025 International Youth Day. One after another, speakers deliver motivational messages, highlighting qualities that can uplift young people. They stress the importance of building sustainable relationships and connecting with right mentors.
Life is about social capital, and social capital is about relationship. How many relationships you are able to sustain and maintain. And it is one of the most difficult things for average youth to do, maintaining relationship. And the youth are not how to maintain relationship. It is difficult.
Please, youth, amend their way. The Bible says, amend their ways and their doing, and I will cause you to dwell in the land I give to your fathers. Change your character. Come out from Yahoo Yahoo. Come out from 419. Come out from anything rituals. Listen, there is an implication. There is a consequence of it.
Acknowledging youth as a vital stage of life, the Anambra State Youth Grand Commander and Chairman of the Leadership Symposium urges young people to unleash their ideas, take charge of opportunities, and occupy spaces of progress and success.
Look around you, looking world. The world, Nigeria in particular, are still looking for those credible youths. Forget about the social vices, forget about things that are happening. People are rededicating themselves to rediscover the youth, to rediscover the people who are genuine, to partner with those people who are genuine. Let uniform youths not be bought over. And if you people can come together with your numbers and make a statement, that statement will turn to reality.
Some participants expressed satisfaction with the discussions, describing them as eye-opening and impactful towards building a successful life.
This is an avenue to interact with life examples of a leader. He gave us a testimony of himself that you can start small and yet make it in life.
There are things we can engage into without even having any capital with us. There are a lot of things in our communities that can help us to move on and to move to a better place.
The International Youth Day celebration continues to promote youth development, empowerment, and inclusion in societal issues.
That report in Anambra State does it for us here on Newsroom series this hour, and indeed a wrap for the week. Thank you indeed for watching. I'm Kelly Egiga. I'll see you again at the top of the hour with more stories.